Visit Milwaukee. A deep dive into all things intriguing, riveting, and entertaining. Now, here's your host, Sandy Maxx.
Happy Monday evening to you. Thanks for hanging out with me for What's on Tap, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. 2.5 hours together tonight. Get a bonus half hour as we get ready for the Bucks to play the Suns. That will start at 8:30. But I have a whole lot for you in the meantime, because, you know, after a weekend, all sorts of stuff happens. And I have some guests I'm ready to roll out the red carpet for. First, because a whole lot of eyes were on the NCAA tournament, and a whole lot of people were in town because of the games happening at Fiserv Forum in Milwaukee. Deer District was hopping. Well, Marquette University PA announcer Mike Jakubowski, he was the PA announcer for all the NCAA tournament games. So we're going to get that courtside point of view as a PA announcer from Mike Jakubowski. And we are at 1 month countdowns for two big Wisconsin events. The NFL draft is already going to be here. It won't just be celebrated in Green Bay 1 month from now, and the annual Milwaukee Film Festival 1 month away. So Visit Milwaukee's John Blust is going to be in the WTMJ studio to give us details on draft festivities around Wisconsin. And Milwaukee Film's Robin Ehrlich will then join me with a preview of this year's Milwaukee Film Festival. And as countdowns go, this time next Monday, we will know the score of the Milwaukee Brewers home opener. Some people will be in shuttles back to bars. Others will be packing up the tailgates. Others will have listened to it right here on WTMJ because they couldn't wiggle out of work. But we have big plans here at WTMJ for coverage and celebration of the return of Brewers baseball. So I will keep you updated on how to make the most of the home opener, whether you're there or you can't be there. And it's a Munich Monday. I will explain at 6:45. The song you need to hear is by a pair of sisters in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame who will be at Fiserv Forum on Wednesday, and they seem right to play during Women's History Month, being Rock and Roll Hall of Famers. And another influential woman in music is part of a production at Renaissance Theater Works called Buyer and Seller. Just opened yesterday, and the plot is hilarious, and it is based on a true story, and you'll find that out just after 8. I'm going to get you up to date on a couple of Milwaukee concert announcements and sad news in the Wisconsin theater scene. Jonathan Smoots, a name that you may know, local actor, so many accomplishments, co-founder of Next Act Theater. He had a big creative impact on the Wisconsin theater scene. He passed away yesterday after a brief battle with pancreatic cancer. So we'll remember Jonathan Smoots on tonight's show. And you're always welcome to be part of the show. You know what I like to do on Mondays, because I feel like everybody has something fun that they did over the weekend. Let me know what your weekend highlight was. Was it something you did, something you accomplished, or if your highlight was just taking a tall nap? I envy you, because I could use a tall nap sometimes. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ Talk and text line 855-616-1620. 855-616-1620. What was a highlight of your weekend? Something fun, something you accomplished. For me, I was in Reno over the weekend. My first time ever being in Reno, and I worked a freelance job with the Professional Bowlers Association. I am the TV set MC. If you follow me on social media, sometimes you see me dancing around on the lanes. And so I get to be the in-game host for live PBA tournaments. And in Reno, it was very cool. I can't believe how starstruck I was. It was held at the National Bowling Stadium. So if you ever saw the movie Kingpin, this is the best way I could describe it. They're the same lanes that Bill Murray bowled on. And producer Brian Kelly, did you find a Kingpin clip that you want to share?
It all comes down to this role. Roy Munson, a man-child, with a dream to topple bowling giant Ernie McCracken. If he strikes, he's the 1979 Odor Eaters champion. He's got one foot in the frying pan and one in the pressure cooker.
So this might make you want to revisit Kingpin if you haven't watched it for a while. And the tournament lanes, truly, for the PBA World Championship, were on lanes 25 and 26, the same lanes that Bill Murray, as Ernie McCracken, bowled on. So that right there was, I couldn't believe just how thrilled I was just about being in that environment. But yesterday on Fox, it was the World Series of Bowling culminating in the World Championship. Two of the best bowlers in the whole world wound up going head-to-head. It really was the final match that pretty much everybody was hoping to see. E.J. Tackett, who's on fire this season, against Australian pro bowler Jason Belmonte, a goat of the sport, really, and known for his two-handed ball delivery. I will not spoil the results if you haven't watched it yet, because I know loyal bowling fans, they get a little crispy if you even allude to who might have won. But you might want to catch a re-air on Fox Sports. But it was a great, really fun-filled event. And one more thing to add a cherry on the whole bowling Sunday, there's been a documentary crew filming at the PBA tournaments all season so far. So just, seeing people with cameras and those big boom mics lends an air of excitement. They asked me if I would interview for the documentary. So I had a chat, let them ask me some questions. So it'll be interesting to see if I make it on screen. I probably not. I am not an integral part of the PBA tournaments. I get to entertain, but it would be fun, though, because here's what I know so far. I'm told it will be a 6-part docuseries, probably on cable next year. So we'll see. And I will dig and keep you posted because I am curious. So that's a highlight of my weekend, PBA on Fox in Reno. What's one of your highlights? Sighting Unlimited, WTMJ talk and text line 855-616-1620. And next, meet a man I'm pretty sure I know what his highlight for the weekend was. He was courtside for all of the NCAA action at Fiserv Forum, up close to the madness. Marquette University PA announcer Mike Jakubowski shares his courtside POV and experiences next on What's on Tap.
If you missed this,
Can you talk about how often officers are ending up at schools and how difficult those situations are?
3,100 calls a school year. It was about 17 calls a day.
or this,
Handpicking the press pool. What are your thoughts on that?
I have many, as you might imagine. I've been in the press pool covering the White House, the greatest privilege of my reportorial life.
Catch up on the Wisconsin's Afternoon News podcast at WTMJ.com, presented by Dave Draycamp Heating.
Hey there, Sandy Maxx, WTMJ, here to tell you about incredible career opportunities with my friends at 3 Pillars Senior Living Communities in Dousman. They really are the #1 senior living community in Wisconsin, rated by U.S. News and World Report, and it's a certified great place to work. They are hiring resident assistants and caregivers, some starting at $20 per hour, and you can get more based on experience and on shifts. The best part, you'll be making a positive difference in the lives of others every day at 3 Pillars. Go to 3pillars.org, click on that careers tab to learn more.
Your European experts at Fox World Travel are ramping up and busy as ever. With the trending spring and summer European travel season, Fox European experts mean you can maximize your time soaking up the warm weather, blooming flowers, and vibrant landscapes without worrying about your travel or missing a moment. Port hop along the Mediterranean with Celebrity or Holland America, or design your own bucket list adventure with Globus. Visit us online or call 866-GO-FOX-GO. Your European immersion awaits.
Siding Unlimited, named the best window installers, not just here, but in the whole USA. Get the best. Siding Unlimited, 5-time winner as America's best window installer. For windows you call Siding Unlimited first and directly. SidingUnlimited.com.
They're playing basketball. We love that basketball.
Even if your brackets are busted, are you singing that song? The NCAA men's basketball tournament made a thrilling stop here at Fiserv Forum this weekend. If you were lucky enough to catch the action, you know it was packed. Drama, upsets, electric energy. But what didn't you see behind the scenes? That is where my next guest comes in. He's the voice you've heard echoing through Fiserv Forum, the old Bradley Center, and the Al McGuire Center. Still, PA announcer Mike Jakubowski. He was right in the thick of it, calling buzzer beaters every big block and every timeout. It's a lot of work to do. He is joining us now to give us the inside scoop. And Mike, welcome back to the mic, but this time on my court.
Well, it's great to be here, Sandy.
Have you recuperated from all the action yet?
Oh, I'm ready for more. The only thing that that does is just whet your appetite for more. You can't beat being at the eye of that hurricane, the heartbeat that is the NCAA tournament. It is just an amazing sporting event.
Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed it because first, the reason I was the on-set TV host for the PBA World Championship in Reno over the weekend is because you were the PA announcer for the NCAA. Mike Jakubowski and I are business partners, and our favorite client, the PBA, when he is not the host on the PBA set, I am. So thank you for the opportunity to be in Reno, but I'm so thrilled that you were right there because, I mean, you have such a knowledge of bowling after being play-by-play for several seasons on ESPN. You know baseball because you worked with the Milwaukee Brewers scoreboard department for years. You know basketball. How many years have you been Marquette's PA announcer?
21 seasons just wrapped up, and this was the 5th opportunity to call the NCAA tournament here in Milwaukee. And to be, as I put it, right down the stripe. Someone asked, well, where are you sitting? I said, when you're watching on TV, just look right down the stripe of half court, and I'm right there.
And you are the person, you've got to have your eyes on so many things. You've got to be in communication with the officials so you know the right call and everything. So how would you characterize that dynamic of being there down the stripe?
It's an amazing place to be. First of all, you have to understand the NCAA sends producers into each of the venues that holds the first and second round. So I got to work with a gentleman named Matt Walker, who was flown into Milwaukee, who's in charge of all the sponsor things, all of the elements, all of the reads, all of the things that you see on the scoreboard, and cueing me when I need to jump in on announcements. In combination with the stat crew and the crew that's working the game clock and the shot clock. So it's a team just like you are on the court. You're a team behind the scenes, making sure all the right information gets to where it needs to go. And my responsibility is primarily to communicate with those that are watching the game. So the NCAA tournament, as a part of my portfolio, is one of the best organized elements of chaos you'll ever see in the sports world. And it runs like a machine on time.
Well, it has to. How many different teams are going in and out at all times between practice and actual game time?
There are 8 teams for the first and second round, and on Thursday, each of them had 40 minutes on the court to just warm up and acclimate themselves to the place. So just brief introductions of the teams, but then the background work that goes in and talking into all of the team representatives of each team to get a handle on the rosters and who has been scratched and the pronunciations and learning how to say Yakashonis and Ivisic and others. So it's basically talking to all of the teams and getting all the information in advance. And then when you get into the first day, which was Friday, it's 4 straight games with not a lot of time in between. So you have 8 rosters to figure out. And it's an amazing bit of energy that it takes to just generate all of that concentration so that you keep all the teams straight, you keep all the games straight, and you keep all the sponsor reads straight, and you keep the communications with the referees straight. And there are so many different elements. But with both teams, the production team and our crew, it's just fun to be a part of that group.
And when it comes to all those teams, so that's obviously one big difference between being the PA announcer for a Marquette game where there are just 2 teams. But what are some of the other big differences, because you don't have necessarily a home team and that dynamic to play with? How do you choose how to deliver the names and the announcements during a game when it's these championship teams?
Sure. Everyone's got a different philosophy. In talking with Matt, he mentioned many different styles across different groups that he's worked with over the years and different announcers. My theory has been when you're doing a neutral game, there is no home team, that you want to have impartiality, but you want to have brightness for both. And then you also want to recognize great moments for both. So you're not necessarily being a homer, but you're just giving an exclamation point, a pop to something that happens in real time that doesn't really favor one team or the other. But really you're rooting, and I am rooting for a great close game, because that's what really gets the energy going of both sides. If you have a blowout or a 20-point game, you don't get that ebb and flow energy of both groups of fans just pushing the team on the court. You can feel that energy, and you can understand why and how these runs happen, because this energy is just coming from fans. And there was one particular game of note where it was the North Carolina game, and they had made a nice comeback, and then they were put out at the last moment by a gentleman named Sean Padula, who hit a 3 and he hit a 2 to just snuff out the fire. And you could just feel the air come out of the room as the Cinderella was just stopped in their tracks, and then the other fan base kicked in. So to feel that energy and to try to impart it back when you're punctuating a great shot or a great moment. So I try to do that with an equal energy for both, and then just wait until you have the opportunity to add your mark to it.
That recognizable, distinctive voice is Mike Jakubowski, PA announcer for Marquette University, and for the 5th time, PA announcer for NCAA tournament action. He was up close to the madness all weekend. We'll get some more inside stories from Fiserv Forum with Mike Jakubowski next on What's on Tap.
Wisconsin winters are unpredictable.
This is history. Never had a tornado touchdown in February.
We keep you updated on blizzards.
Winter storm warning has been issued for all of southeast Wisconsin, and it's going to get really, really dicey.
Blackouts.
Tens of thousands of customers across southeast Wisconsin are without power this morning.
Icy roads.
Very, very slick conditions pretty much everywhere.
And more. With WTMJ Fleet Farm Storm Team alerts on air and at WTMJ.com.
Hey, this is WTMJ's Steve Scavini for Heiser Automotive. I love talking about Heiser. Just picked up a 2023 pre-owned with very low mileage Chevy Silverado 1500 LT, beautiful glacier blue. Love it. Looks fantastic. It's got a black cloth interior. Every time I get in this truck, I say, that is amazing. 8-speed automatic transmission. Awesome mileage, MPG for a truck. 24 city. Get this, 29 highway. Towing capacity, payload is big, all the things you love about Heiser. Here's what I love about Heiser, all the great programs. Whether you're talking a pre-owned or new, Safe and Sound program, right? Vehicle exchange program, right? Love it or exchange it. Valid on new or pre-owned vehicles, which is what I was talking about. Purchase or lease for the comfort of your own home. Roadside assistance for life. All the things you love about Heiser is all the reasons why they say every day and why I always tell people at Heiser Automotive, today's your day.
Brew City is ready to celebrate the draft's return to Wisconsin. Milwaukee Tailgate Week presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook, April 24th through the 26th. It features a variety of gridiron activations for all ages, steeped in Milwaukee's iconic sports history, its attractions, brews, pubs, restaurants, and venues. The festivities culminate on Saturday, April 26th with Jordy Nelson's Milwaukee Tailgate with Inside the Huddle Live. Buy your tickets now for only $10 and learn more at visitmilwaukee.org/tailgate.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for QC Kinetics. You know, I get a lot of questions about QC Kinetics treatments, people asking if they should consider it for their own joint pain. Well, here's how you know. If you answer yes to any of these questions. Is your quality of life impacted by chronic pain in your knees or hips or shoulders or other joints, trouble sleeping or walking? Do you want to avoid surgery, a long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? And most importantly, do you miss doing the things you love because joint pain is holding you back? If you answered yes to any of these questions, don't wait. Call now. Call QC Kinetics and ask for your free consultation and learn how the latest advances in regenerative medicine can help you get lasting relief. No drugs, no surgery, no downtime. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
This is What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx.
They're playing basketball.
Just about everybody, even not devoted basketball fans, filled out a bracket. I can tell you, mine were completely busted because I'm a loyalist. I go Marquette all the way. So I had Marquette, Wisconsin, Kentucky, and Drake in my Final Four. As you can tell, not going to win any big pools with those choices, but it is so fun to follow along and just hear cheers and walk by social gatherings and just chat with your office mates. And in the studio with me is Mike Jakubowski, PA announcer for Marquette University, but he got the honor of being the NCAA PA announcer at Fiserv Forum this weekend. And this is your 5th time in that seat.
Fifth time.
That's
Amazing.
an honor. How did you get asked in the first place?
As a function of Marquette hosting the first and second round, it's traditional that they use the staff that Marquette uses, and that includes the public address announcers. So because of my work with Marquette, gave me the opportunity to work the NCAA tournament, and this last one wrapped up my 5th, which is amazing.
It's what rarefied air to be in and to be right there at the table, I would say on the 50-yard line for the football field, but as you say, on the stripe.
Half court, best seat in the house. And you get to hear actually what players are saying on the court. You get to hear the interaction between the coaches and the referees. And then you get to really see and feel, and you see it in the eyes of the players, pressure moments, the joy and pain of losing. I mean, you feel it. I mean, it's one thing to watch on TV, but to be that close to the coaching staffs and to the players themselves and understand how much they're putting into this and understand that difference between winning and losing by body language, by posture, by the handshake line at the end. It is incredibly emotional.
It's the true drama of sports. And it's interesting that you're announcing teams that aren't naturally rivals, but you were talking about the energy shifts just because everybody's hanging on every single play and every single foul call. Or were there any particular moments that were almost like rivalries?
There was the final game yesterday, the Ole Miss Iowa State game. And Iowa State was the number 3 seed, so they were favored in a lot of folks' minds. And they had 90% of the fan base in the stadium in the Fiserv Forum yesterday. But there was one section of Ole Miss fans. And as the game went, Ole Miss just popped them early and maintained a 20-point lead and really just took the gas right out of Iowa State's game. And the Iowa State fans began to disappear from the building, and all that was left at the end was this entire section of Ole Miss fans that none of them had left, and they were the loudest at the end by far.
This is what you're living for. This is what you bought the ticket for.
And
buy the ticket, enjoy the ride.
That's why fans watch, and that's why a lot of folks cheer for underdogs, is to have that type of experience. But the Ole Miss took it across the board yesterday.
Any secrets to your stamina? Because that sounds like a marathon between Friday practice and all the games.
It is, but anyone that's done this, you have to have a sense of what your entire job is, and it's like a racehorse. You got to know where the finish line is. So you can't come out of the box too hot. You have to pace yourself, and you have to get to the finish line. So, frankly, the most difficult thing is moisture management of what goes in versus what comes out and when.
Oh, hydration?
Yes, and extraction, if you will.
Do I want to know the secrets to that? Are there any garments involved in this, or just good timing?
No garments, all timing.
And so we will look for you. This is Mike Jakubowski, PA voice of Marquette University for 20, how many seasons?
21.
21 seasons. So we'll look for you in your 22nd season for both men's basketball, and we'll hear you at the Al McGuire Center as well. And if you go to an Admirals game or a Wave game, wave hi to Mike Jakubowski. Any place else we can see you?
Coming up, as you mentioned, professional bowling. Professional bowling and the greatest bowlers in the world are coming to this area. We'll be in Waukesha at Foxview Lanes. It's the PBA All-Star Weekend coming up on April 5th, and we're going to be doing some live and tape television. And anyone that's a fan of the greatest sport in the world, bowling, is invited to Foxview Lanes in Waukesha, pba.com, for schedule information.
Because then you could see Mike Jakubowski singing.
Oh, that happens on occasion. I have karaoke in my background, in addition to DJing and both sides of the camera, and I will wash your car for the appropriate amount of money, or none.
Renaissance man, Mike Jakubowski, voice of the Marquette Golden Eagles. Thank you for hanging out with me.
Sandy, please drive home safely.
And be nice.
Be nice.
Now we go to the WTMJ Breaking News Center. Here is Jessica Gatzo.
Thanks, Sandy. A Milwaukee man arrested in Two Rivers for stabbing a child. 22-year-old Dominic Liggins is accused of stabbing a girl in the chest at a home near 21st and Madison Street. Police responded to the home around 10 p.m. Saturday night. A SWAT team had a brief standoff with Liggins before he was arrested. The girl was taken to the hospital for her injuries. Charges are pending. A Dane County inmate attempted to take his own life Sunday morning. The 42-year-old tried to strangle himself in his cell. Deputies intervened and took him to the hospital as a precaution. He did not have major injuries. Road closures begin today in Fox Point. Lake Drive will be closed from School Road to Dean Road, so crews can replace water mains and upgrade storm sewers. Drivers will be detoured to Port Washington Road from Silver Spring Drive or Brown Deer Road. The DOT hopes to reopen the road by the end of August. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. Mostly clear on the roads this evening, no major incidents and no delays. Time for the WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, mostly clear skies, a low of 29. On Tuesday, sunshine and clouds, a high of 45. On Wednesday, partly cloudy skies, a high of 45 again. Thursday, mostly cloudy with a slight chance for a shower, a high of 52. On Friday, a chance for showers and mostly cloudy, temperatures climbing even more with a high of 56. On Saturday, rain is likely and still a little warmer with a high of 58. Right now in Madison, it's 44 degrees. In Green Bay, it's 33. In Waukesha, it's 40. And in Milwaukee, it's 40 degrees. I'm Jessica Gatso, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:32.
It's here on consignment from over 10,000 nationwide partners. From very high-end, distinctive furniture, unique antiques and original art, to tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. Premium home decor priced right at 25 to 40% off retail prices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Smart interior designers know that what they'll see here is going to be almost impossible to find anywhere else, especially at our consignment prices. Premium home decor that's gently loved and close to new. And what we carry can raise the wow factor of anyone's home decor. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Homebuyer Helper Brian Wickert. One of our senior loan consultants recently helped their first-time homebuyer client win over 13 other offers. Of course, it was a team effort with their buyer's agent, and it centered around helping our clients understand what little difference there was to their monthly payment to offer over the asking price. And again, what little difference it would make to give the sellers peace of mind that they'd still buy even if the appraisal came in up to $20,000 short. But that's not all. Our consultant also texted and called the listing agent to reinforce how well qualified our buyers were and that they could, in fact, still close even if the appraisal came in low. Your AccuNet consultant will help you understand your options so you can decide how aggressive you want to be. Then we do everything possible to help you win. Don't let someone else end up sleeping in your dream home. Know your options and get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Please, please, please. Hear that? That's Shady Brad Schimmel on his knees begging for money from wealthy billionaires who want to buy Wisconsin's Supreme Court.
I have to crawl around begging people.
And the more Brad Schimmel begs,
please, please, please,
the more they shell out. Because everyone knows Shady Brad Schimmel is for sale.
I have to crawl around begging people.
After all, Schimmel cut a crooked plea deal with a man caught with child pornography after his lawyer gave Schimmel thousands in campaign cash. What could have been a 25-year sentence was dropped to just 3 years for that sick predator. So it's no wonder billionaires want Shady Brad Schimmel on the Wisconsin Supreme Court. They've seen Schimmel help his campaign donors, just like he did for that criminal's lawyer.
I have to invest in knee pads.
Brad Schimmel, if you're listening, get up off your knees. You're embarrassing yourself. Paid for by the Justice Project.
Please, please, please.
Not authorized by any candidate or candidate's agent or committee.
Please, please, please.
What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx is back on WTMJ.
Welcome back to What's on Tap, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. Handcrafted, homegrown, world-class. Discover more at visitmilwaukee.org. I'm Sandy Maxx. Thanks for hanging out with me. How was your weekend? It's action-packed for some, relaxing for others, but I'd love to know, what was a highlight for you? 855-616-1620 is the Siding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line. 855-616-1620. Share a highlight from your weekend. Jeff in Fox Point texted in. I'm glad Reno went well because my weekend was in Reno, Nevada. I was on the TV set MC for the PBA bowling tournament on Fox, which was a really fun experience because it got me to the National Bowling Stadium for the first time, which is where Kingpin and many other things have been filmed. But Jeff said glad Reno went well and that his weekend highlight was getting Cops and watching Daredevil on Saturday night. See, that is relaxing. That is good with me. And then Peter texted in that he's disappointed that I didn't have time to go to Lake Tahoe and recommends it, especially in the summertime, which I was very tempted to try and road trip, but it was a pretty fast turnaround. So glad to be back here in Milwaukee with you. I would love to know a highlight for you. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ talk and text line, 855-616-1620. And producer Brian Kelly, nice to see you today.
Nice to see you, Sandy.
And we jumped right into preparation for the show. We have 2 more guests coming in. We got some things together, but we didn't really do the, hey, how was your weekend thing? So what was a highlight of your weekend, Brian?
Well, I keep forgetting that Daredevil is on my checklist for the weekend, but I will definitely get there, Jeff. I promise you. I got to go see my buddy Vince in a show. He's in an equity show down in Chicago. They just closed this weekend. They did a Raisin in the Sun at the Court Theater. And it was a really, really good presentation.
Worth the trip. Good.
Really worth the trip. It was just such, the whole crowd was packed. And it's such a good play that these actors got to just act and let the play present itself, which was really cool because you got to see them just be human beings. And by doing that, the rest of the audience was bought in completely. You got to feel the energy. I'm getting goosies right now. Just some of the monologues, some of the things that they just said, it was offhand, but it hit because everybody was paying attention, and the whole audience just went, yes, and just kind of it was amazing. It just felt great watching it. I was just very happy.
And that's when you're rapt, R-A-P-T, when you're just completely in lockstep in the connective, bought into the story, and that's part of the beauty of live theater is, first of all, it's dependent on the energy exchange of the actors and the audience. So to really be part of the magic when it really is firing on all cylinders, and you have to think, I am never recommending wait until the last weekend, ever. If you're excited about a show, go see it, but you have to think that the actors really were in a rhythm, in muscle memory, and in flow, so you're going to get one of the best performances, and also that they're treasuring that if that's the last show.
For sure. And my buddy Vince said he's going to miss the show. He's going to miss performing in it. But since yesterday was his 59th performance of it,
wow,
he's ready to take a weekend off. They ran double shows, matinees and nights, pretty much Tuesday through Sunday.
And that warms my heart that there's that demand to see A Raisin in the Sun. That,
it was really good.
That is
really
great.
Good.
Exciting.
They extended it twice.
Aw. And then did your buddy Vince know you were there in the audience?
No idea.
Aw.
And
You got to surprise
his
him?
head blew off when he saw me. I was so excited.
Do you have any other theater on your radar?
Nothing right now. I'm going to go and see some more. I'm really excited, especially through this show. I get to go and hear and be a part of more theater in this area, which I have not been, and I have been remiss to go and see some. But
that's all right.
Yeah.
You're getting to know more and more people, and we'll talk about buyer and seller.
I am so excited about
later
that.
in the show. Yeah,
it sounds so good.
It has something to do with Barbra Streisand, and Susan Fate, the artistic director of Renaissance Theater Works, was here last week, and she summarized the plot in just such a perfect way, and the show opened yesterday. So we will revisit a moment in Barbra Streisand history coming up in about an hour, and we'll also explain what buyer and seller is all about. But I got to tell you, it's Munich Monday, and you might want to make it a Munich Monday. I'll explain next.
The wait is over. Brewers baseball is back. Time to pick your Brewers games and get back to the ballpark for tailgate traditions and walk-off wins. Be here for opening day. Come back for the big games and the best giveaways. Where else would you want to be? Brewers tickets for the 2025 season are on sale now. That's opening day and every game, all summer long. Get on board for the show today. Grab your seats at brewers.com/ticket finder.
When the prodigal son ran out of money and was eating from the pig trough, he didn't have much hope things would get better. However, the son's father welcomed him home with open arms. This is Archbishop Jeffrey Grob. During this Jubilee year, the Holy Father has asked us to be signs of hope for others. For the poor and the elderly, a sign of hope could be a meal, a visit, or even just a warm smile from one stranger to another. This Lent, let's show others this kind of hope and share the love of Jesus. Please join us at Mass.
Many times, patients have symptoms they didn't know were actually related to their airway breathing issues.
I was suffering from sinus issues, jaw issues, and neck pain. I guess I just kind of had my breaking point.
Unfortunately, this is typical. But until you get to the root of your problem, it's going to just persist. Fortunately, Jody took action, and the results were typical as well.
My quality of life is so different, but one of the first things that I noticed was my breathing. I don't ever remember being able to breathe like that.
Being able to breathe freely is life-changing, and the effects can go beyond that.
Sleeping better, having more energy, and it seemed as if all of those symptoms that I had just melted away.
And thank heavens for that, because at Advent, results are what drive us, helping you breathe well so you can live better.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Kristen Bry. If you're looking for a new dentist, you should check out my dentist, Dr. James Michaels at Economwalk Dental Care. Dr. Michaels is committed to providing you with the highest level of care possible. I can assure you that he will prioritize your needs no matter how sensitive, just like he did with mine. If you're due for a dental visit, Economwalk Dental Care has an $89 new patient special, so you can get the care that you need at an affordable price. In addition to my exam, Dr. Michael's staff provided a gentle, professional cleaning that left my mouth feeling smooth and rejuvenated. Listen, we all have to go to the dentist, so do not put it off any longer. Check out Economwalk Dental Care at drmichaelsdentalcare.com or give them a call at 262-567-7224. Start 2025 on a good note by feeling confident about your smile and go see my dentist, Dr. James Michaels at Economwalk Dental Care.
What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx is back on WTMJ.
Munich. Sonntag. Lustiger Tag. Munich.
That is our twist on Manic Monday. No, it's Munich Monday. That is the dulcet tones of Brian Kelly improving that song. I am Sandy Maxx with an irresistible invitation. Make it a Munich Monday with me. Picture this. Golden beer, historic charm. Come with me to the heart of Bavaria and start a European brewery tour with me in Munich. We'll also go to Salzburg and Vienna and Prague. But those don't rhyme with Monday. But Munich, it's going to be so much fun. September, join me and a group of WTMJ fans. I did a trip like this a couple of years ago to England, and we went to Beatles landmarks. Now we're going to Germany, Austria, Prague, and we're going to beer and breweries in addition to castles and historic spaces and musical spaces. So this happens in September. As soon as we touch down in Germany, we have a private tour manager, all courtesy of Steve Bertrand Travel. Get met at the airport, and then we just kick off an unforgettable European adventure. Wunderbar, right? I can send you the itinerary so you can see all of it. Email me, sandy@WTMJ.com, SANDY@WTMJ.com, because this is truly a one-of-a-kind beer and history tour in Germany, Austria, and the Czech Republic, starting in Munich, because when you work with Steve Bertrand Travel, we customized the entire itinerary. So this isn't anything you can get anywhere else. And it's going to be a small group of us. So that means we can get into the private breweries. We can get into the museum tours and basically be escorted right in, not have to stand in line. We're going to stay at 4-star hotels. Really, when you book airfare, hotel, breakfast, most meals are all right in there. Because I say most meals because this is the kind of trip where you have enough flexibility to do your own thing, too, in addition to the group. So starting in Munich, we're going to stroll through the old town. You will discover how beer shaped Munich's culture over the centuries. And we're going to go to the Augustiner Brau and the world-famous Hofbrauhaus for sipping some steins and hear some beer stories along the way. And if you've never been to Munich before, I went about 10 years ago. People fall in love with it. It's got history, but it's also got modern charm. You've got medieval architecture, and it's a postcard-looking city, and the beer culture is unmatched. I mean, Munich is home to Oktoberfest for a reason. Drinking beer is an art there like it is here in Milwaukee. It's an art, a tradition, and a way of life, and the atmosphere, it's in the Alpine region. You get that crisp Alpine air, but friendly locals and such delicious foods. I mean, think of it. You can go through the markets, not just at Christkindl time. You know, there's wonderful cookies and pastries and crafts. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're even going to visit the Beer and Oktoberfest Museum, so you can geek out on the brewing tools from the 1700s and, of course, learn how that Germany legendary beer purity law came to be in the 1500s. And a hearty Bavarian lunch with the perfectly poured pint. You got a trip of a lifetime to raise your glass to. So don't wait Don't get sold out. Book your spot and join me this September in Munich, also Vienna, Salzburg, and Prague. Let's lift a stein together and toast to some new memories and new adventures. And I would love to travel with you. Email me, Sandy, SANDY, at WTMJ.com. And Prost with me. That's Sandy, SANDY, at WTMJ.com. Let's travel together. Women's History Month, it's not over. Celebrate two rocking sisters who will visit Milwaukee Wednesday. The Wilson sisters. They have the song you need to hear next on What's on Tap.
The Upswing with Jeff Sherman.
The volume, heating, fans, the hazard lights, they're all going physical again because we all seem to not want to drive down the highway and touch those screens.
We've already been doing that. Volkswagen's just catching up with us. But that's not convenient. That's silly to make that difficult. And there's a safety part. If you're having to scroll through screens, you're not paying attention to the road.
Weekdays from 10 to 11 on WTMJ. Presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs.
He's Donald Trump's right-hand man, Elon Musk. And now Musk is trying to buy Brad Schimmel a seat on the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Because Musk knows when you buy Schimmel, he'll do whatever you want. Like when Schimmel gave a plea deal to a man caught with child porn after the man's lawyer gave Schimmel thousands of dollars. And Schimmel will ban abortion with no exceptions for rape, incest, or the health of the mother. Deeply corrupt and totally extreme. That's the real Brad Schimmel. There's a better choice.
I'm Judge Susan Crawford. As a former prosecutor and now as a judge, I've made sure rapists, murderers, and child predators were behind bars.
Protecting your family and your most basic rights. That's Judge Susan Crawford.
And I trust women to make their own healthcare decisions. Brad Schimmel doesn't, but I always will.
So on April 1st, vote for Judge Susan Crawford, Supreme Court. Paid for by Susan Crawford for Wisconsin.
So how is that possible? 1.9% real estate commission? There must be something you're not telling me.
I hear that a lot. The truth is, everybody could do it, but they choose not to because folks keep paying more than they have to. I guess they just haven't heard yet that Century 21 Benefit Realty can make that 1.9% real estate commission promise on the sale of your home and stick to it. So I'd like to think that's going to make your decision easy. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Lake Geneva is the Midwest's premier golf destination, featuring breathtaking views, crystal clear lakes, and rolling fairways. Treat yourself to an all-inclusive golf getaway with courses designed for all skill levels, luxurious lodging, distinctive dining, and a relaxing spa. Plan a Lake Geneva group golf outing, a corporate event, or a weekend getaway with friends or family. Their pros will help you plan a memorable golf experience. For info on courses and more, visit lakegeneva.com today. Lake Geneva, it's always been the place for legendary golf.
Welcome back to What's on Tap on WTMJ. And now, feast your ears. This is the song you need to hear.
Most blokes are going to be playing at 10. These go to 11.
These actually go to 50. Ann and Nancy Wilson, the sisters who make up the band Heart, are celebrating their 50th anniversary as a band. And I love that because they've gone through some ups and downs and they weren't touring together for a little while there, but they are now, and they have such a great catalog of songs. I saw them a few years ago with Joan Jett opening. It was a great night of music. But with Women's History Month continuing, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees Heart, Ann and Nancy Wilson, I think they need to be saluted because they really carved out a path for themselves in the rock world in the 1970s. And that was tough. And they are still touring together. And I think you're going to hear this song on stage when they're in town Wednesday night, Fiserv Forum with Cheap Trick opening up. This is Heart. Crazy on You, the song you need to hear on What's on Tap. true classic rock song. Crazy on You from Heart, the song you need to hear tonight, because I think it's good to keep celebrating Women's History Month, but also is another one of those shows that might have creeped up on you. Wednesday night, Heart, back at Fiserv Forum with Cheap Trick opening up. That is an epic evening of music. And Ann and Nancy Wilson, this tour is also celebrating their 50th anniversary together, which is just fantastic to be able to get along and to be able to tour. But you think of the great music they've played. Nancy Wilson is excellent on guitar, and Nancy Wilson still has such a powerful voice. And remember, Nancy Wilson is the one who made Robert Plant, brought him to tears when she sang Led Zeppelin covers right in front of him. So two powerful, influential rockin' women, Ann and Nancy Wilson, members of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, are Wednesday night Fiserv Forum with Cheap Trick. The rock band from Rockford, Illinois, will be opening up. And I've got more concert announcements. There was a concert announcement on Friday that you might have missed. I'll get you up to date on that. And today, another classic rock legend will be coming to Milwaukee. I'll tell you who that is. So stay with me here on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
I found a fountain of youth down there at QC Kinetics.
That's Henry Hinton, feeling like his young, active self again after treatments at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine.
I still have trouble walking down steps as I get older. I've had one treatment so far, and I can already tell a difference in my knee.
And that treatment at QC Kinetics used Henry's own natural healing properties, concentrated and placed right at the source of the pain. So Henry and patients just like him will enjoy long-term relief without surgery or downtime.
My knee is not hurting. I remember I was walking down some steps yesterday, and I thought, wow, this is not hurting when I walk down steps. I'm all in on it. I'm all in on QC Kinetics.
It's time to wind back the clock to days without constant joint pain. Start with a call to QC Kinetics today.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
As clutch of a player to ever play basketball.
It's Dame time on Season 4 of Behind the Bucks on Bucks Plus.
This year I was like, I need to impose myself more on this team.
Explore Damian Lillard's journey to becoming a top 75 player in NBA history.
That's what really had me feeling like this is going to be great.
Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker, and H&R Benefits Consultant. Find Bucks Plus on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Are you on track to achieve your retirement plans? Hi, I'm Jeff Kowal of Kowal Investment Group. We've recently joined Creative Planning, a national registered investment advisor. This move to Creative expands our ability to provide comprehensive wealth management, investment advisory, and retirement planning services. Now is the time to put your lifetime of hard work into action. For over 37 years, we've helped clients toward making their retirement dreams become a reality, and we'd like to help you too. And the best part, your plan will be completely tailored to you. Our in-house team of specialists will take the time to learn about you and your family, review your current situation, and find out what your goals are. Then we'll design a plan to help you get there. To get started, request your free meeting today with one of our fiduciary advisors by visiting creativeplanning.com. Whether you have met with us in the past or this will be your first meeting with us, we're excited to introduce Kowal Investment Group to you as Creative Planning. Visit creativeplanning.com today.
The Lifetime Door Free Garage Door Contest is almost over. Time is running out to win a brand new garage door from Lifetime Door. Absolutely free. This contest ends March 31st. Don't miss the chance to win a stunning, high-quality garage door that will boost your home's curb appeal and values. Entering is easy. Text GARAGE to the WTMJ Talk and Text line, or just go to WTMJ.com and the entry form is on the very front page. It's just that simple. For contest rules, visit our website, WTMJ.com.
Breaking news as it happens. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At
At 7 o'clock, it's 40 degrees. Tonight, clear skies, a low of 29. Tuesday, partly sunny, a high of 45. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Jessica Gatso. A tragedy strikes Marquette University. Campus police found a student dead in his off-campus apartment Thursday evening. 21-year-old John Kozer lived at Campus East on 14th and Wells. He was a senior, just weeks away from graduating from the College of Business Administration. His death is still being investigated, and his family has requested an autopsy. The university is planning a mass to honor Kozer this week. The UN warning of the dire impact disruptions to USAID funds could have on the fight against HIV and AIDS. ABC's Inez de la Quatara has more.
The United Nations AIDS Agency saying there could be 2,000 new HIV infections a day across the world and a tenfold increase in related deaths if funding from the U.S. is not reinstated or replaced. The agency chief warning, quote, "We will see a real surge. We will see people dying the way we saw them in the 90s and in the 2000s," end quote. USAID cuts have led many HIV clinics across Africa to close, laying off thousands of health workers. Inez de la Quatara, ABC News, at the Foreign Desk.
President Trump announcing Hyundai plans to build a steel mill in the U.S. ABC's Michelle Franzen reports.
President Trump announced South Korean automaker Hyundai will invest $5.8 billion in a U.S. facility in Louisiana, all to make steel for its car plants in Georgia and Alabama. The president says it shows that his tariffs are working to expand business here in the U.S.
Hyundai will be producing steel in America and making its cars in America, and as a result, they'll not have to pay any tariffs. You know, there are no tariffs if you make your product in America.
Most analysts say tariffs raise costs for both businesses and consumers. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Medical research expands in Wisconsin despite threatened funding cuts. President of the Wisconsin Technology Council, Tom Still, tells WTMJ.
Better treatments for cancers, antibiotics, and new ways to target drug delivery. So these are the kinds of things that we have a role in through private companies and research institutions in Wisconsin that will continue to show benefits.
It's unclear how federal funding cuts will affect Wisconsin healthcare overall. A new film puts a face to FTD, a rare form of dementia that typically strikes younger.
The film, titled Susan, follows Susan Suchin in the years between her FTD diagnosis and death. Heather Miller is one of Suchin's daughters.
It's the most cruel, hideous disease I have ever witnessed in my life.
Frontotemporal dementia is different than Alzheimer's. It impacts behavior, personality, language, and movement. FTD strikes younger, and it's often misdiagnosed. There is no cure and no way to stop the progression.
Her hope for the film was that we would be able to reach the masses so that nobody else diagnosed has to feel alone, and so that more people can be aware of what FTD is.
Jessica Tai, WTMJ News.
The film is making its way through the film festival circuit now and should be released to the public later this year. As the final trimmings are added to American Family Field ahead of the 2025 Brewers regular season, the team is also planning for the ballpark's future use outside of baseball.
Work continues prepping American Family Field for next Monday's Brewers home opener against the Royals. With plans for possible winterization set to commence after this season, Stadium District Board Chair Jenny Dye tells WTMJ her team has taken into account economic uncertainty when it comes to construction.
I think we've done the best job that we can to make sure that we're putting the Stadium District in a strong position to be able to weather the uncertainty by planning for it in advance.
On the first baseline at American Family Field, Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:04.
You're going to get a free furnace from Quality. No gimmick. You'll get a free furnace. This is Anthony Zanevsky. All you have to do is purchase a heat pump from Quality, and you'll get a free furnace. And this heat pump is not only going to give you 2 sources of heat and a backup, but also the heat pump will act as an AC system to cool your home as well. It's extremely efficient. I have a heat pump in my own home, and this I know. Your heat pump will cut your energy bills substantially. You'll be getting a top-of-the-line heat pump system and a free furnace. And you'll save thousands plus qualifying government incentives. So now, through March 31st, you'll get a heck of a deal from Quality. This is the only time of the year we can do this. So call Quality, and let's get you taken care of. Get your free furnace and upgrade your home's HVAC system to absolute max efficiency. Buy a heat pump from Quality and you'll get a free furnace through March 31st.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
Do you want the economy mulch or the premium? The only real difference is that the premium mulch has thicker strands, while the economy mulch is finer. But the colorant we use for both is of the highest quality, and that's why the color of our mulch lasts longer. And our mulch comes from trees, not pallets, and we process it all in-house. That's why our prices are so low. Erickson's Landscape Supply, high-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. At Erickson's Landscape Supply, we have durable, maintenance-free polywood patio furniture and #1 grade treated natural pine Amish-made patio furniture. And we also have a wonderful assortment of concrete benches, statues, and fountains available in a selection you just gotta see to believe. Erickson's Landscape Supply, high-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less, plus a whole lot more. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection or stop on in today.
Time for a WTMJ Sports update from the Gerber Law offices. One called That's All Sports Desk. The University of Wisconsin women's hockey team earns its second national championship in 3 years, beating Ohio State 4-3 in overtime to win the Frozen Four. Badgers sports updates are sponsored by Siding Unlimited, siding and a whole lot more. The Brewers defeated the Rockies today 4-2 in the final spring training game of the season. A 3-game series with the Yankees begins the regular season on Thursday. And the Bucks' Western Conference road trip resumes tonight in Phoenix against the Suns. Damian Lillard remains out with right calf soreness. Coverage begins at 8:30 here on WTMJ. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time-saver traffic. Looks like we have a lane blocked on 43 and 94 South, about a quarter mile beyond the ramp from Holt Avenue. The left lane there's a crash there. Also taking a look at an incident on 40-way 894 North at the ramp from Oklahoma Avenue. Looks like some debris is in the left lane there. Time for the WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, mostly clear skies, a low of 29. On Tuesday, some sunshine and some clouds, a high of 45. Wednesday, partly cloudy, a high of 45. Thursday, mostly cloudy with a slight chance for a shower, a high of 52. On Friday, a chance for showers, a high of 56. On Saturday, rain is likely, mild temperatures, a high of 58. Right now in Madison, it's 44 degrees. In Green Bay, it's 33. In Waukesha, it's 40. And in Milwaukee, it's 40 degrees. I'm Jessica Gatso, Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 7:08.
Your need-to-know cultural snapshot of Wisconsin and beyond. This is What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee, a deep dive into all things intriguing, riveting, and entertaining. Now, here's your host, Sandy Maxx.
Welcome to the second hour of What's on Tap, and we get a bonus half hour after 8. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I am excited to have some countdowns. We need to look at the calendar. Time flies when you're having fun. It's already March, and we are 1 week away from the home opener at American Family Field, your Milwaukee Brewers, and we have big plans here at WTMJ. I'll get you updated on how you can make the most of your opening day with WTMJ, whether you are at the game or whether you're listening on the app as you get your work done. We're also at 1 month countdowns for 2 big Wisconsin events. The NFL Draft. It's not just going to be celebrated in Green Bay. It's going to have parties all over the place. And we're a month away from there and also a month away from the Milwaukee Film Festival. So Visit Milwaukee's John Blust is going to be in the WTMJ studio in just minutes to give us draft details on the festivities. And Milwaukee Film's Robin Ehrlich is going to join me for a preview at 7:30 of this year's Milwaukee Film Festival. And spring is about to, I know it was spring officially last week, but it's feeling more and more like that. But we're also going to take a moment to remember a person who had a really big impact on the Wisconsin cultural scene. Jonathan Smoots, a local actor and co-founder of Next Act Theater, just some of his resume. He had a really big impact on Wisconsin's theater scene and unfortunately passed away. It was announced yesterday after a brief battle with pancreatic cancer. So a lot of people's hearts are broken in our theater scene. So just want to review a bit of his career and share that with you. And if you have a weekend highlight, something that was fun that you did, or you want to share something that you accomplished, you can always call or text in. The Siding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line is 855-616-1620. I want to update you on a couple of concert announcements. On Friday, there was a concert announcement. So I always feel like sometimes when news comes out on Friday, I can sneak right by. It was like, oh, hey, I didn't hear that. But if you or someone in your circle loves this band... 20 years of the Jonas Brothers. They are returning to Fiserv Forum. They announced Friday, Jonas 20, the Living the Dream Tour is going to be at Milwaukee October 12th at Fiserv Forum. And it's going to be... I like the idea of this show because they're still celebrating the brothers. I was just talking about the Wilson Sisters of Heart having a 50-year career together. I think it's almost even more significant when you can be family members and keep that together. But Jonas 20, Living the Dream, celebrating their 20-year journey from performing in malls now on big stadiums. And I like that because I'm a longtime fan of Duran Duran. And when you're a fan of a band, like right when they first start, it's nice when the band really does seem to appreciate the fans. So the Jonas Brothers quote is, "Our fans have been with us through every chapter, and this tour is our way of honoring them, the memories we've made, and the ones we'll create together. We can't wait to make this our biggest, most unforgettable tour yet." And the All-American Rejects are going to open the Fiserv Forum show. And another thing that I like is that, you know, they've done different projects, and they reunited in 2019, and this was the big hit. I do like this song a lot. Sucker was the big hit when they reunited in 2019. But this show is going to have dedicated sets from every chapter of Jonas, including Nick Jonas and the Administration, Nick Jonas' solo career, Joe Jonas' solo work, and dance. So it should be a really fun evening. So circle your calendar. Tickets go on sale Friday if you want to be at the Jonas Brothers show, October 12th at Fiserv Forum. That was announced on Friday. This morning, a completely different style of music was announced, but influential and important. This man is coming to Milwaukee this summer. Neil Young and the Chrome Hearts have announced the Love Earth World Tour. And Friday, August 29th at BMO Pavilion, you can see a legend. He really is. And those tickets go on sale on Friday. And his band, the Chrome Hearts, Spooner Oldham, Micah Nelson, Corey McCormick, Anthony Lagerfo, and Neil Young on guitar and vocals. Going to have new songs because they released a song called Big Change. But of course, a lot of hits that you can imagine are important to Neil Young. And another really interesting thing about this is that Neil Young, if you remember, he is a co-founder of Farm Aid back in 1985. And part of his tour, he's bringing what's called homegrown concessions to the tour, leading the way to change the live music food system. So what Homegrown Concessions does, it brings family farm food produced sustainably with a fair price paid to the farmer and served on compostable serviceware to music venues. I think that's admirable, trying to lead the way there. So think about that. Lake Michigan as the backdrop at BMO Pavilion. Neil Young and the Chrome Hearts Tour. That is Friday, August 29th, and you can get your tickets on Friday. And stay with us for a tribute to a local legend who passed away yesterday, Jonathan Smoots. Honoring him next on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
Since the Wisconsin weather isn't up to speed yet,
it's not that scary, and you could use a little sun, trust me.
Outside bad. The sun's scary.
A little sun doesn't sound like a threat.
I'm not afraid of the sun anymore.
How's the moon treating you?
Not a fan. Safer.
The Bucks head out to Phoenix to take on the Suns.
Lillard's got it top of the arc. He's going to try to answer, and he connects again.
Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 8:30. We are the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores has been voted the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel's Best in Thrift. So to all who voted for us, thank you. And to those who haven't yet been here, there are so many items to explore. And at thrift store prices, you can find a really great deal. At the same time, you'll be helping us help others, sometimes folks right in your own neighborhood. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com.
God gets angry. Angry like a friend.
watching another friend destroy himself with addiction. Angry, like a parent watching their child harm herself with bad choices. But don't mistake anger for contempt. Our God is angry because he cares. Behind God's anger is love. We believe this only because of Jesus.
Dr. Michael Ziegler this week on The Lutheran Hour.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
You're listening to What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx on WTMJ.
I'm Sandy Maxx. Welcome back to What's on Tap, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. Handcrafted, homegrown, world-class. Discover more at visitmilwaukee.org. And over the weekend, I had a little bit of time scrolling through social media, and I discovered some very sad news for our Wisconsin theater scene. Jonathan Smoots, a name you may recognize, theater actor, director, passed away on Friday after a brief battle with pancreatic cancer. And he's left quite a legacy, but he's left a lot of heartbreak. It's really, pancreatic cancer. I don't know if you know anyone who's had to battle it, but it is pretty merciless and fast acting. And among the accomplishments of Jonathan Smoots, who you very likely have seen on stage because his career spanned over 4 decades, and he's a charter member of American Players Theater, APT, in Spring Green, and he debuted in American Players Theater's very first season in 1980. He was Theseus in A Midsummer Night's Dream, and on the APT Instagram, they had a great photo of him and used some of the Shakespearean quotes, just basically saying he uttered the first words on this stage in the first production. That's how deep his roots go into Wisconsin theater. And over 38 years and 28 seasons, he played Shakespearean characters, also modern figures at APT. But he was also a very cherished member of Milwaukee Repertory Theater and was part of the rep for years, even portrayed Scrooge at one point. For APT, he retired in 2019, but he got himself the title of Core Company Member Emeritus, so still strongly respected, but did some looking around and found his obituary. It was just, here's another impactful decision he made in his career that is still lasting now. He was one of the founding figures of Next Act Theater and the very first artistic director at Next Act Theater. And he also worked with Milwaukee Chamber Theater, also outside of Wisconsin, Cleveland Playhouse, and just really jarring to a lot of people in the theater world because, especially here locally, married to Laura Gordon, who's a director. She just directed Every Brilliant Thing at the Milwaukee Rep. And you can imagine how entwined he was with Next Act Theater and the front office there. And I'm working on getting some of his friends and family to share some experiences and some of the legacy that Jonathan Smoots is going to leave. Working on putting something together next Wednesday to really more appropriately honor and express just how important and impactful Jonathan Smoots' presence was in our Wisconsin theater scene. So raise a glass, light a candle, and hug your loved ones tighter, and maybe even make a donation to a cancer organization in honor of Jonathan Smoots, remembering a very impactful actor here in our Wisconsin theater scene. As we move forward on What's on Tap, we have the Milwaukee Film Festival 1 month away from today. And some of you have it circled on your calendar. The NFL Draft in Green Bay is exactly 1 month away. Where will the celebrations be and how can you have fun during the NFL Draft? We'll find out with Visit Milwaukee's John Blust next on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
Join your boy Tori Lowe and the Truth Team for our community cleanup on Saturday, April 12th. Go to truthcommunitycleanup.com to sign up to volunteer at one of our 3 cleanup locations. Everyone who joins gets a free lunch provided by Cousin Subs. Register today by visiting truthcommunitycleanup.com. Bring the whole family to help clean our city. The Tori Lowe Cleanup is presented by 1MKE and sponsored by Cousin Subs, Ray's Coca-Cola, Landmark Credit Union, and Waste Management.
Pain can make you feel like no matter what you try, it's not going to work. Or it can make you try any and everything. And most times that'll make you feel like you've been taken for a ride. It's hard to believe that there's a solution to your pain problem that works, is safe, and is actually affordable. But that's why most insurance plans pay for pain treatments from Rejuvenex, because they're FDA approved and they do work. Toradol and hyaluronic acid work together to substantially alleviate your pain. And we've seen patients experience pain relief for greater than 2 years after completing a series of treatments. Is it a one and done? No. But at as low as $65 per joint? It's an affordable alternative to surgery. And it's not an expensive cross your fingers and hope it works experiment. Especially for older pain sufferers, the pain treatment that Rejuvenex offers is worth trying, because the vast majority of patients who do live better lives in a lot less pain.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
When the prodigal son ran out of money and was eating from the pig trough, he didn't have much hope things would get better. However, the son's father welcomed him home with open arms. This is Archbishop Jeffrey Grob. During this Jubilee year, the Holy Father has asked us to be signs of hope for others. For the poor and the elderly, a sign of hope could be a meal, a visit, or even just a warm smile from one stranger to another. This Lent, let's show others this kind of hope and share the love of Jesus. Please join us at Mass.
If you need a place for new home interior ideas, then you have to come talk to us. Our on-staff decorators know furniture, home decor, and a lot more. And they're not only creative, but also very willing to help you make great choices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Stop in often, because our inventory changes daily.
Design Exchange.
Previously, it has been gently loved. But here, you'll only find very well-conditioned premium home decor items that you likely won't find elsewhere. Distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original art, and other tasteful home decor at a value. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
This is What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx.
The NFL Draft. I feel like we've been talking about it for a while, and here it comes, exactly 1 month away. Green Bay Packers get to host, and if you're wondering, well, I've heard about it, how can I be part of it? Oh, we have the answers. Visit Milwaukee's John Blust is with me. How are you, John?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I am good, and I want to know what you know. How can we get in on Milwaukee Tailgate Week? Because it's going to kick off April 24th in Green Bay.
Sure.
For a couple days, but that's a lot of people to be here in Wisconsin visiting.
Oh, yeah. And if you can't make the draft, or if you've made the draft and you want to come and experience the excitement a little bit more and just further your experience, we've got some great events for you over the 3 days. We've got Milwaukee. Well, we got the Milwaukee Tailgate Central kicking things off at Potawatomi Casino Hotel at the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
So that's where it's all going to be centered right there.
On Thursday night. So you'll start there. There's 2,000 square feet of screens. What better place to kick things off and see the first and second round draft picks, or first round draft picks that night, and really
you feel like you're there.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're
honestly,
just enveloped in it.
Yeah,
right?
if you can't get up to Green Bay to be there, surrounded by all those screens, good Lord,
100%. And then the following day, we've got the Tailgate Talk live luncheon. So you've got Travis Beckham, former Wisconsin Badger standout, All-American, two-time Capital One Bowl champion. He'll be there with Hub Arkush, longtime sportscaster, longtime sports reporter. And so they'll be taking some different angles on the draft and looking into, you've got Travis, who grew up here, and he experienced the draft. He was a homegrown talent. Then he went on to play in the NFL, was a Super Bowl champion. So you'll see from that angle, and then also from the journalism perspective as well, what it takes to kind of cover the draft and what that experience is like as well.
And bringing that NFL experience closer to all of us.
Oh, yeah.
And the chance to have a luncheon and actually get to talk to Travis Beckham.
Right.
And other speakers are going to be announced. So this isn't like we're 1 month out. There's still more festivities to be announced.
Oh, sure. And we got plenty of surprises up our sleeve, and we'll unveil them in time, but we're keeping everyone guessing a little bit for the moment.
So you got Thursday and Friday hanging out at Potawatomi.
Yep. And then we've got our keystone event, our cornerstone event there, Jordy Nelson's Milwaukee Tailgate with Inside the Huddle Live. So that's a live taping of Inside the Huddle. It's actually the first time it's been held in Milwaukee, and it's one of the first times it's been held live outside of Green Bay, in fact. So it's a really novel experience, and one that really doesn't happen that often. You know, you think about Jordy Nelson and Mason Crosby, and you think about Nick Collins, all these people that Packers that I grew up watching and loved. You know, seeing them get together, they're all Super Bowl 45 champions. They'll all be able to share that experience together and talk, you know, hopefully a good Packers draft as well. So that'll cap things off. But it's a family-friendly event as well. And so we'll kick things off at 3 o'clock with games, and there'll be a kids' combine run by Journey House, who owns the Packers field at Mitchell Park.
A kids' combine. Little kids running as fast as they can. Is somebody going to be timing them?
I have to imagine, right? You know, we'll see what their 40 time is if they're ready to be drafted, huh?
But it is exciting because with the NFL just being such an important part of Wisconsin culture, the Packers permeate everything. And it does bring families together. You know, they're fan-owned, generational fans.
Sure.
So to have that spill over from Green Bay and into the entire weekend and be able to have celebrations all around Wisconsin, including right here in Milwaukee, and have, like you said, Green Bay Packers that were some of your favorites that you grew up watching.
Yeah.
And the chance to be up close with them and see them in action.
Yeah, and what a special experience. You know, last time the draft was hosted in Wisconsin was 1939. It was held right here in Milwaukee at the Hilton Milwaukee is now called. We haven't had another draft since then, and we have such a great football history here, too. You have the Milwaukee Badgers that were around in 1922, and then you have the Packers that played here until 1994. So you have kind of that through line, that tie through all of the history that just kind of brings it all back here and brings it back to Wisconsin and brings it back to Milwaukee.
Oh, I love some of that history that you drop. But yeah, to remember that the Green Bay Packers played at County Stadium at times. But that 1939, a draft in Milwaukee at the Hilton.
Just a few years ago, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because now you're talking about watching it on these big screens at Potawatomi. You know,
it used to be in a hotel ballroom, which is just, it's amazing that now we're bringing in hundreds of thousands of people and selling out hotels throughout the entire state. So
how fun.
Really incredible.
You said the Saturday event at the UW Milwaukee Panther Arena, that's Jordy Nelson's Milwaukee Tailgate with Inside the Huddle Live. So it is fun to watch shows get recorded. You said family friendly. Yeah, $10 to get in.
Yeah.
To get in on the tailgate zone and the GA seats, that is affordable for a family to come down and really be part of the excitement of the NFL draft.
Oh, 100%. And it's really going to be that tailgate atmosphere. It's going to be that celebration of football in Wisconsin and Milwaukee. And, you know, in Milwaukee, of course, we know how to tailgate. And so, you know, everyone will be able to get in on that excitement, whether or not they're able to make it to Green Bay, whether they're extending their stay, whether they're experiencing it for the first time. It'll just be a really great experience for everyone involved.
Yeah, it'll be a little more intimate than the hundreds of thousands of people in Green Bay. But I also love that for Jordy Nelson's Milwaukee Tailgate at the arena, you can kick it up a notch and you can actually get a VIP ticket and meet and greet these players that you grew up watching and finally get a photo or show them your jersey, you know.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, and it's only $75 too. So, I mean, it's not like it's, you know, a super expensive ticket either, or a massive step up. And then you get to meet the players, you get food, you get a hospitality area, and then you get to see the show be recorded up close as well. So you get a lot with that as well. And it's just a really awesome experience.
Any other hints for what might the next announcement be for Milwaukee Tailgate Week?
I can't reveal too much.
All right.
I've been sent on strict orders to not share too much.
I will not get you in trouble.
Plenty of excitement ahead.
But more to come. He is John Blust of Visit Milwaukee and visitmilwaukee.org.
Yep.
Best place to research?
Visitmilwaukee.org/tailgate. It will be the best place to go. And then for listeners, if you use code VISIT at checkout, you'll get tickets for just $5. The general admission tickets for just $5.
You didn't tell me you were doing a $50 discount. $50. Listen to me, a 50%
more
discount.
surprises.
How lovely. So code word visit.
Visit, yes.
Thank you so much for treating our WTMJ fans so well.
Thank you.
John Blust, I wish you a very happy Milwaukee Tailgate Week. We'll see you before then, though. Best wishes for a smooth month of preparation.
Thank you very much.
And now we go to the WTMJ Breaking News Center. Here is Jessica Gatso.
Thanks, Sandy. A drunk driver is recovering from serious injuries after a rollover crash in Beaver Dam. Officers found 47-year-old Francisco Manago just after 3 a.m. Saturday on State Highway 33. He started to go off the road at a curve, overcorrected, and lost control of the car. The car rolled several times and he was thrown out of it. Investigators say he was operating while intoxicating, speeding, driving over more than 100 miles per hour, and not wearing a seatbelt. He was flown to the hospital for his injuries. A missing Dane County inmate is back in custody. 33-year-old Anthony Gilbert was reported AWOL by police last Wednesday. He's serving his sentence for obstructing justice and possession of methamphetamine. Gilbert was taken back into custody without incident. From cats to baked goods, the former Sip and Purr Cat Cafe on Milwaukee's east side will soon become Poppy Bakery. Owner Amy Gorski tells the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel it will feature cinnamon rolls, cookies, and cheesecakes made from local ingredients. This will be her first brick-and-mortar location after starting out at farmers markets. Meanwhile, Sip and Purr is close to reopening at its new location on Brady Street. Taking a look at the roads with your Johnson & Sons paving time-saver traffic. One incident to look out for on 4145 South, about a quarter mile beyond the ramp from Capitol Drive. A crash there actually looks like it has just been pulled over to the right shoulder. Time for the WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, mostly clear skies, a low of 29 degrees. Tuesday, sunshine and clouds, a high of 45. On Wednesday, partly cloudy skies, a high of 45 again. On Thursday, mostly cloudy with a slight chance for a shower, temperatures climbing a bit to a high of 52. On Friday, a chance for showers, a high of 56. On Saturday, rain is likely and temperatures climb once again to a high of 58 degrees. Right now in Madison, it's 41 degrees. In Green Bay, it's 34. In Waukesha, it's 38 degrees. And in Milwaukee, it's 38 degrees. I'm Jessica Gatso, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:32.
Hey, this is Steve Scafidi for Advent. I had some snoring issues that kept my wife up at night. That led to poor sleep and a lot of tired mornings on the radio, and nobody wants that, trust me. But it's simply, my nose wasn't working the way it should. I decided to go to Advent for a quick 30-minute visit, one of their great facilities, talk to a bunch of their doctors. They really put me at ease. After a really simple sleep study at home, in my own bed, they determined the root cause of my problem had to do with my sinuses and nasal passages in my breathing triangle. I didn't even know I had a breathing triangle, so I went to see Advent. After a short procedure done in office, I'm back to breathing well, and my wife and I are both back to sleeping through the whole night. The best sleep we've ever had, that could be you. If you struggle with restless nights like I did, take the time to see how Advent can help. To find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your life and your nights a whole lot better, go to AdventKnows.com, schedule an appointment today. Because Advent knows, when you breathe well, you live better.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show, live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
You only get one chance to make a first impression, and that goes double for your home listing, because that's how you're going to get the most value. By having a customized marketing plan specific to your property with professional photos, global marketing, and the built-in experience that Century 21 Benefit Realty has brought to the table since 2004. And being joined with Century 21 just makes all of the above stand out that much more. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx is back on WTMJ.
Welcome back to WTMJ's What's on Tap, a show all about culture and creativity here in Wisconsin and around the world. And rolling out the red carpet for another guest tonight from Milwaukee Film, Robin Ehrlich. Robin, how are you?
How are you, Sandy?
I am good, and I cannot believe, and I bet you might be in more disbelief, that we are exactly 1 month away from Milwaukee Film Festival 2025.
Yeah, I didn't realize it until you told me.
Really?
We were kind of all trying to not think about it, and then you told me, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's right. A month away, but it's exciting. We're really excited, but definitely busy.
You didn't bring me a program, did you?
No program books yet. They actually are going to print this Thursday.
Ooh.
But I did bring you a little postcard. It's got our beautiful festival artwork this year, and then on the back are like some important dates to remember. So put it on your refrigerator.
You say beautiful festival artwork. I'm going to get to that in just a moment. But for everyone who's excited or should be getting excited, the lineup reveal is April 4th. There's a Friends and Family preview night on April 10th. And then it looks like members get to buy tickets on Milwaukee Day, April 14th, 4/14. Then the public get to buy on April 16th. You can go to the box office April 18th. And then opening night, exactly 1 month away, April 24th.
Yeah, so a lot of dates to remember, but there's so much exciting stuff, and especially Friends and Family preview night. I want to say that's free and open to the public. So I feel like a lot of people are like, friends and family. I don't know if I fall into that category. Everyone's our friend and family.
Anybody who loves film.
Exactly. We're all family at the Oriental Theater. So come watch trailers with us. And
so I was just going to say, what happens on preview night? So at the Oriental Theater on April 10th.
Yes. And I think it's at 6 p.m. I actually know that for a fact. I just found out today. It's at 6 p.m. and it's just a fun free event where people kind of get excited for the festival. All of our programmers go up and they give a brief presentation about a couple films they're mostly or super excited about. And then we watch trailers, and it's just like a fun trailer party. And program books should be available at this event.
Even if they're not. That's just old school for me and my Sharpie and my highlighter.
Oh, I love it too.
I would say there's some of us who love that tangible program.
Totally. I love circling my favorites and using the schedule at the back of the book so that I can plan my whole festival out.
Yes. But not everyone is quite that granular as we are. So, and a lot of people are digital instead of analog like that. So there will be on April 4th, the lineup reveal online.
Absolutely.
For sure. And then you can go pick up your program. And it's a Thursday night, April 10th, for the Friends and Family preview night, which means you can be inside the beautiful Oriental Theater for free. I'm sure you'll be having popcorn for sale, because who doesn't enjoy some popcorn? But how many films are planned over how many days?
Yes, so the festival is 15 days long, so just over 2 weeks. And there are over 200 films, including features and shorts. We have some incredible blocks of short films that all play together. So a little over 200, I think it's like 210, 215 total.
Wow.
A lot of films.
So all the more reason to go to a fun night like this and actually see the trailers. And everyone on Milwaukee Film is passionate, and especially passionate about their category, and take great pride in curating, whether it's Sound and Vision or Cream City Cinema. And that's a lot of pressure on those curators too, to choose films that people really enjoy, but also, you're disappointing some filmmakers, so it's just a tricky job. But so that each of these curators are taking it very seriously, and that they have chosen the films that they think are the most important to see, whether it's important because it's a powerful documentary or important because you're not going to see anything else like this anywhere else.
Yeah, really. It's great. Our programming team works so hard year round, and it's just a great culmination of the year-long efforts they take to watch films from literally everywhere, like local, international, from first-time filmmakers, from more seasoned filmmakers who you're more familiar with, all different genres, mediums. It's fantastic, and it's just exciting to see. There's truly something for everyone at the Milwaukee Film Festival.
From Milwaukee Film, Robin Ehrlich, and we're going to get more previews of this year's Milwaukee Film Festival with Robin. So stay with me here on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
You're going to get a free furnace from Quality. No gimmick. You'll get a free furnace. This is Anthony Zanevsky. All you have to do is purchase a heat pump from Quality, and you'll get a free furnace. And this heat pump is not only going to give you 2 sources of heat and a backup, but also the heat pump will act as an AC system to cool your home as well. It's extremely efficient. I have a heat pump in my own home, and this I know. Your heat pump will cut your energy bills substantially. You'll be getting a top-of-the-line heat pump system and a free furnace. And you'll save thousands plus qualifying government incentives. So now, through March 31st, you'll get a heck of a deal from Quality. This is the only time of the year we can do this. So call Quality, and let's get you taken care of. Get your free furnace and upgrade your home's HVAC system to absolute max efficiency. Buy a heat pump from Quality, and you'll get a free furnace through March 31st.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
New treatments for joint pain are here. By now, you've heard about regenerative medicine. If you're wondering if you're a good candidate, answer these questions. First, does chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or other joints keep you from doing the things you enjoy? Golfing, jogging, time with the family. Does it hurt doing the things you need to do, like getting out of bed, sleeping, working, and walking? And finally, do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain, long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? If you answered yes to any of those, you need to call QC Kinetics now. Learn about exciting advancements in regenerative treatments that can give you long-lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Get your free consultation today. Call QC Kinetics. That's QC Kinetics. Here's the phone number.
Call now, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Taxes was taxing. Now taxes is relaxing when you file for free.
I can file for free? TurboTax Free Edition. Roughly 37% of filers qualify. Simple Form 1040 returns only. See if you qualify at turbotax.com/free. I can file for free.
Now this is taxes. File for free with TurboTax Free Edition and get your maximum refund. No schedules except for earned income tax credit, child tax credit, and student loan interest. See if you qualify at turbotax.com/free.
Welcome back to What's on Tap on WTMJ.
I'm Sandy Maxx, talking with Milwaukee Film's Robin Ehrlich. Girls on Film talking about Milwaukee Film Festival, which kicks off 1 month from today. And Robin, can you reveal what the opening film is?
I can.
Ooh.
So we just decided to announce this last week because we wanted to give people a little taste of what's to come. So the opening night film is a film called Sally. It's a documentary about Sally Ride, who became the first American woman to blast off into space. So very outer space. We're going to, blast off the festival with this really cool...
Launch the festival.
Launch the
There we
festival.
go.
That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, and it's going to be great. A documentary. It's from an alum of the festival, Christina Costantini. Sorry if I didn't say her name right, but she showed another film at the festival called Science Fair in 2018. And so she's coming back, and I believe she'll be at the festival. So it should be a really fun opening night.
And that's one of the best things about the Milwaukee Film Festival is you can see a range of films of all kinds that are challenging or just pure on entertaining and enlightening, and then truly meet the person who created it.
Yeah.
And ask them questions.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
I love the post-film Q&As and just getting to see the people who put all of this hard work into making all of these films. So it's really great.
So Sally, all about Sally Ride. That's wonderful. And especially with space travel being so in the news and in conversation between the astronauts Sonny and Butch coming back from the ISS and sending other people into space and all these different companies that are trying to do space travel. So it'll be very interesting to see a time capsule. And as I keep trying to stretch out Women's History Month past March.
It's always Women's History Month.
But it strikes a chord with me for that as well. So Sally kicks things off. Are there any other films you can?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
I have to
this
be
is
careful.
Your preview. I know. It is funny because, Robin knows more than she should tell me.
Exactly.
And I don't want to get you in trouble with the Milwaukee Film Team.
I'll be careful. I'll be careful. I have my list of what I can say, but there's films from all of our different programs. So there's a film called This is a Film About the Black Keys, that's the title, and I'm sure you can guess what it's about.
The Black Keys coming to Milwaukee, yeah.
Yes, so it's kind of timed really well. There's a great film that I'm super excited about called Art Spiegelman, Disaster is My Muse, which is a documentary about the graphic novelist Art Spiegelman, who made Maus, M-A-U-S. And
all
it
about
kind
the
of,
Holocaust,
yes. And it gets into how he's fighting censorship, because a lot of places have been trying to ban that graphic novel. And so
still today?
Yeah.
Because that was created in the 80s or the 90s?
Yeah, I think the 80s.
Yeah.
And it's one of my favorite books. It's just fantastic, and the art and the story is beautiful. So I'm really excited about that film. There's a film called Cloud, which is a Japanese film from director Kiyoshi Kurosawa. He directed he's best known for the films Cure and Pulse. So he does a lot of psychological thrillers, and this is his newest installment of his, very mysterious work. And so I'm excited to see that one too.
I also say don't ever be afraid of subtitles when it comes to the Milwaukee Film Festival. It's not really that distracting. And I feel like almost everybody, your eyes are trained now to see words popping up on screen because of social media. So it's not this kind of stigma where it was just I don't want to read a film. It's like we're reading a whole lot of stuff on quick videos. So why not have it let the story unfold? And I do love the ability to see a movie, it reminds me of Parasite. That was massive by Bong Joon-ho.
Yeah.
And, that was a film that was so well received and so different and so interesting and explored culture and different types of symbolism and a not a formulaic story.
Yeah.
That is one of the joys of seeing the international films anytime at the Oriental, but particularly during the Milwaukee Film Festival.
And we're currently showing from that same director of Parasite, Bong Joon-ho, his new film, Mickey 17,
with Robert
at the Oriental
Pattinson.
Theater. Yes, it's
and
great.
multiple Robert Pattinsons.
He's everywhere.
So yeah, if you were ever Team Edward like me for Twilight,
Same here.
yeah, I'm not hating that. It also reminds me of The Matrix when there are so many Agent.
Yes.
Yeah, Agent
Smiths.
I didn't
think of that. Yeah,
Mr.
have you
Anderson.
seen it, Mickey 17?
No, it's on my
it's
list.
Very good. I think you should.
Oh,
I think you would like it. Yeah,
okay.
I liked it. It's weird. It's different.
But that's okay.
Those are my favorite films. Are the weird ones.
Any other previews you can give us?
Yeah. There's a film called 40 Acres, which is a film that premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival. It's a debut feature, and it's like a post-apocalyptic film about a Black family who are the descendants of folks from the Civil War, the American Civil War, but it's 200 years after the American Civil War, and it is...
I started to ask you, this is not a documentary, and then you said it's 200 years after the Civil War. It's like, okay, no. This is a fiction film.
But rooted in real life, but it becomes something very different, and I have heard from our incredible Black Lens programmer, Ty Williams, who chose this film. It really subverts expectations and kind of plays into what people expect from the apocalypse genre, because there's a lot of apocalyptic films lately, and so that one seems super thrilling and
40
suspenseful.
Acres.
Yeah,
okay,
40 Acres.
40 Acres.
Yeah, that one seems great. Can I mention another one?
I would love it. That's why we're listening. We want that preview. We can tempt our taste buds a month out from the Milwaukee Film Festival.
So this documentary is called Balomania. It's a film about Brazilian boleros, which is a secret group of men who craft and launch intricate hot air balloon art, which is a medium of art that I'm not familiar with, and I think most folks probably aren't.
Hot air balloon art, but in Brazil. So see, this is exactly why film can transport you to either fantasy worlds or to real life places and real life things that how would you ever discover that?
Exactly.
Even if I went to Brazil, chances are I probably wouldn't happen across.
Exactly. Our programming team is really great at finding films that just like run the gamut of what film can do, and film can show and teach people about new things and new ways of life and new mediums of art that we didn't even know existed.
Speaking of new realms of art, when we come back with Robin Ehrlich of Milwaukee Film, one of the things that I really love and a way that you support local creativity is by annually having an artist create all the graphic design for the program and for the slides that you see before the film. So I want you to share with us who this year's artist is for Milwaukee Film. That's next on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
Hey Bucks fans, it's Justin Garcia from the Bucks Radio Network, here to tell you about the launch of the Bucks Central podcast feed. Everything Bucks, on demand, in one spot. From sideline to sideline, hear all the ankle-breaking, rim-rattling, and twine-tingling highlights, exclusive interviews, and more. Subscribe to the Bucks Central podcast feed wherever you get your podcasts. All the Bucks content your heart desires in one spot. Check out the Bucks Central podcast feed.
Do you want the economy mulch or the premium? The only real difference is that the premium mulch has thicker strands, while the economy mulch is finer. But the colorant we use for both is of the highest quality, and that's why the color of our mulch lasts longer. And our mulch comes from trees, not pallets, and we process it all in-house. That's why our prices are so low. Erickson's Landscape Supply, high-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. At Erickson's Landscape Supply, we have durable, maintenance-free polywood patio furniture and #1 grade treated natural pine Amish-made patio furniture. And we also have a wonderful assortment of concrete benches, statues, and fountains available in a selection you just gotta see to believe. Erickson's Landscape Supply, high-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less, plus a whole lot more. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection or stop on in today.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Save big on everything for your next project when you shop at Menards. Menards is a leading supplier of quality roof and floor trusses. Choose from our huge selection of residential and post-frame trusses or custom design trusses specifically for your project. View our entire selection of quality roof and floor truss options today on Menards.com. Plus, check out our weekly flyer and find all the great deals happening this week at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Imagine all the things you dream of under one roof. You're thinking of eBay. Fashion, collectibles, car parts. It's all there. Go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
You're listening to What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx on WTMJ.
1 month away from the Milwaukee Film Festival, April 24th through May 8th at the Oriental Theater. I have Milwaukee Films, Robin Ehrlich, in the studio with me. And Robin, where are we going to be able to see the films this year in addition to the Oriental Theater?
Yeah, so it's going to be at the Oriental Theater and the Downer Theater. So Milwaukee Films 2 historic cinemas this year.
2 locations.
5 screens. Over 200 films.
I was just going to say, and hundreds of films.
Yes.
And Robin has been lovely giving us a preview, and you will be able to see the entire lineup reveal April 4th, coming up next Thursday already.
Oh, my gosh.
Right? Let me double check the calendar.
I think that's right.
March 31st is opening day. No, Friday the 4th. May the 4th? No, that's...
Oh, yeah. Oh.
That's April 4th be with you. But yeah, so the lineup will be out April 4th, which is a Friday. And then you're invited to a Thursday night, Friends and Family Preview Night, April 10th at the Oriental Theater to see the trailers and meet the people who are curating and booking these films for our pleasure during the Milwaukee Film Festival. And I can't let you leave, Robin, without shining a light on the artwork this year and how much I love that Milwaukee Film purposefully chooses artists from the Midwest to create the look and feel of each year's film festival.
Yeah.
And this is is this the 16th or the 17th?
This is the 17th.
17 annual Milwaukee Film Festival. Love it. And this artwork this year, I would say it's got like forest green.
Yes.
It has birds. It's very natural. It has birds and popcorn that I see on the postcard that you brought me. So what can you tell me about the artist?
Yeah, so the artist is Ginger Markley. She's incredible. She is from Minnesota, Midwestern artist. She'll be in Milwaukee during the festival for at least some of it. And we honestly just found her through social media, and that's how we've been finding a lot of these fantastic local artists from the most recent years who have been doing our campaign art for the festival. Ginger is a really great artist, especially because she works with watercolor. So she was doing physical watercolor on actual paper and then scanning each element in and digitally putting the whole thing together later. So it's got that beautiful, like real physical, tangible texture of the actual watercolor, which I think is unique. It's not anything we've ever done before at the Milwaukee Film Festival. So.
I've seen kind of almost animation type graphic art over the years. And this has a softer feel. And birds tend to make people happy. Birds have all sorts of symbolism, and you can't have birds if you have no water.
Exactly.
So here we are by the lake, and so and like I said, the very earthy colors of this.
We wanted something very springy, and Ginger also did a lot of great research about actual birds that migrate through Milwaukee and Wisconsin during the spring. So these are all birds that are able to be really seen in Milwaukee during the course of the festival.
Such care, such thought. That is wonderful. So Ginger Markley.
Yes.
Thank you for beautifying the Milwaukee Film Festival programs. And we'll see a huge billboard right on top of Von Trier, right?
Yes, you will. Yes, it might be up next week.
Ooh.
Might, I hope.
And look for the program, which is going to print this week.
Yes.
And pick up your program, circle all the movies that you want to see. And we did get on the Siding Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line, 855-616-1620, is the preview at both theaters or just the Riverside, but I think
just at the Oriental Theater.
I would say it's good. Let's clarify that. That is at the Oriental Theater. So thanks to 262 for texting in. Thursday, April 10th at the Oriental Theater.
6 p.m.
Freebie, friends and family.
For all.
This means
you're our friends and family. Come watch trailers with us.
And go to mkefilm.org to take a peek and stay up to date. Robin, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. I love being here, and thanks for all of your support.
And I wish you a smooth month leading up to April 24th, opening night.
Thank you.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
The most common reason pain sufferers come to us is to be able to perform their daily tasks without suffering through them. Grandparents who want to be able to take their grandkids on walks and to the park. Or those that just want to be able to get out of their vehicle with more ease than pain. Rejuvenex pain treatments can help, and the sooner you get to calming down that pain, the better it will be. These are powerful, FDA-approved pain treatments precisely administered with an extremely small needle to get to the root of your pain. And before you know it, you'll feel the anti-inflammatory power of Toradol and the cushioning relief of hyaluronic acid. Positive patient results are regularities, not rarities. And we do this conveniently in office, so it's very easy for you. And we're in network with most insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid, which could mean zero out-of-pocket costs for your pain relief treatment. Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS
NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Homebuyer Helper Brian Wickert. One of our senior loan consultants recently helped their first-time homebuyer client win over 13 other offers. Of course, it was a team effort with their buyer's agent, and it centered around helping our clients understand what little difference there was to their monthly payment to offer over the asking price. And again, what little difference it would make to give the sellers peace of mind that they'd still buy even if the appraisal came in up to $20,000 short. But that's not all. Our consultant also texted and called the listing agent to reinforce how well qualified our buyers were and that they could in fact still close even if the appraisal came in low. Your Accunet consultant will help you understand your options so you can decide how aggressive you want to be. Then we do everything possible to help you win. Don't let someone else end up sleeping in your dream home. Know your options and get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at the Neal Group. Happy New Year. How's business? Do you really know? We recently worked with several clients who thought they knew, but didn't because their books were not in order. Imagine thinking you were making $1 million, but because your books are a mess, you were really only making $200,000. Quite a difference. Imagine finding out expenses were not properly recorded or sales were double recorded. If these happen to you, we can help. We work with our clients to clean up their books and give them the information they need to know where their business is now and where it is going in the future. Don't wait. Start on the path to less stress, more cash in your pocket, and no more sleepless nights. Call us at 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net today to book a meeting. We can talk over Zoom, the phone, in our office, or your place of business. Yes, we like to visit our business clients. Don't wait any longer. Call 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net.
You can't beat Burkhart.
Sports lovers love us. Your trusted and relevant source for news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 8 o'clock, it's 37 degrees. Tonight, mostly clear skies, a low of 29. Tuesday, some sunshine and some clouds, a high of 45. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Jessica Gatzo. In Milwaukee.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired!
Milwaukee police released the body camera footage from an officer-involved shooting in early March that left one person dead. Officers responded to an afternoon call of two people trying to enter a business near 32nd and Villard on Milwaukee's northwest side. They located the suspects near 37th and Lancaster along the train tracks. After failing to obey police commands to drop their weapon, an officer fired, killing a 41-year-old man. A 34-year-old man was arrested and treated for injuries. The new face of Milwaukee public education is working to regain the public's trust in Wisconsin's largest school district.
In addition to addressing the ongoing lead crisis at Milwaukee Public Schools, Dr. Brenda Caselius tells WTMJ addressing issues brought up in Governor Tony Evers' audit of the district in February is also high on her list of priorities.
So that we have a lean, efficient organization that really responds to the public's trust.
Also on the superintendent's to-do list, reversing years of declining enrollment in the district.
All my children went to their neighborhood public school, and they had a great experience.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
A federal appeals judge in Washington today said the United States treated alleged Nazis better during World War II than the Trump administration treated Venezuelan migrants last week. ABC News senior national correspondent Terry Morin reports.
A stunning accusation from federal judge Patricia Millett.
Nazis got better treatment under the Alien Enemy Act.
Grilling a Trump administration lawyer, demanding to know why hundreds of Venezuelans were deported to an El Salvador prison without any due process.
Well, Your Honor, we certainly dispute the Nazi analogy.
The administration's lawyer pushing back on Judge Millett's assertion that Germans deported during World War II under the same Alien Enemies Act used today got better treatment, arguing that President Trump was exercising core presidential powers.
The former NFL and University of Michigan college football coach accused of hacking into university databases and accessing the accounts of more than 150,000 college students was arraigned in federal court today. More from ABC's Stephanie Ramos.
2 former athletes from the University of Michigan are suing Weiss, the school, and a database firm, alleging they failed to supervise Weiss. Prosecutors say over an 8-year period, Weiss hacked into the database of more than 100 colleges and cracked the encryption protecting the passwords. Then allegedly accessed thousands of social media, email, and cloud storage accounts, according to the indictment.
The judge entered a not guilty plea to federal hacking charges on behalf of Matthew Weiss. The National Medal of Honor Museum opens in Arlington, Texas on Tuesday. It's an award that's been around since the Civil War in 1863, but has less than 4,000 recipients to date. The museum's president and CEO, Chris Cassidy, tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News he hopes visitors take away a sense of inspiration.
It's got to be witnessed, and that I think alone makes it rarely awarded, because oftentimes there's no living people that saw the action that the person did, right? It could be covered by bushes, and the unit is 50 yards away.
Tomorrow is also Medal of Honor Day. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:04.
Do you enjoy fatty foods, sweets, and alcohol? Who doesn't? Unfortunately, all those things put a lot of pressure on our liver. That's why pharmacist, best-selling author, and nutritional expert Sherry Torkos recommends Active Liver from New Nordic.
The liver is an incredible organ. It works nonstop to process toxins and chemicals from our food and drinks, medications we take, and even environmental exposures. As a health expert, I'm often asked how to support the liver's natural detoxification process and offset the effects of fatty foods, sugar, and alcohol. I recommend Active Liver by New Nordic. This gentle plant-based supplement is an effective way to support your liver's vital functions as well as your energy and overall well-being.
With its powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract, Active Liver is the perfect way to keep your liver healthy and you feeling your best. Active Liver is available in both a delicious gummy or tablet. You can find Active Liver in the vitamin aisle at your local CVS or online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com.
Do you have a written financial plan? Hi, I'm Aaron Kowal of Kowal Investment Group. We have recently joined Creative Planning, a national registered investment advisor. This move allows us to provide more comprehensive wealth management services to help with all aspects of your finances, including your investments, taxes, estate plan, and more. At Creative Planning, we understand life is busy, and sometimes important things like retirement planning can fall to the wayside. So I'm here to remind you to take time to plan. A 1-hour complimentary consultation with our fiduciary advisors will help you get started on the path to your dream retirement. We will review your current financial situation, your goals and needs, and help you plan for life's what-ifs. Don't delay planning for your future any longer. And even if you already have a plan, a second opinion from our advisors can help determine if there are adjustments to make. Kowal Investment Group is now Creative Planning. Visit creativeplanning.com to get started. That's creativeplanning.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports update from the Gruber Law offices. One called That's All Sports Desk. The University of Wisconsin women's hockey team earns its second national championship in 3 years, beating Ohio State 4-3 in overtime to win the Frozen Four. Badger Sports updates are sponsored by Siding Unlimited, siding and a whole lot more. The Brewers defeated the Rockies today 4-2 in the final spring training game of the season. A 3-game series with the Yankees begins the regular season on Thursday. The Bucks' Western Conference road trip resumes tonight in Phoenix against the Suns. Damian Lillard remains out with right calf soreness. Coverage begins at 8:30 right here on WTMJ. Taking a look at the roads with your Johnson & Sons paving time safer traffic. All clear on the roads at this point. No major incidents, no delays. And time for the WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, mostly clear skies, a low of 29. Tuesday, partly sunny, a high of 45. Wednesday, partly cloudy, another high of 45. On Thursday, mostly cloudy with a slight chance for a shower, a high of 52. On Friday, another chance for showers, a high of 56. On Saturday, rain is likely with a high of 58 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, it's 37 degrees. I'm Jessica Gatso, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:08.
Your need-to-know cultural snapshot of Wisconsin and beyond. This is What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. A deep dive into all things intriguing, riveting, and entertaining. Now, here's your host, Sandy Maxx.
I woke up this morning, I was feeling fine, but this cat starts banging, man, what a swine. So I called reception, but to no avail. That's why I'm telling you this.
Welcome to a bonus half hour of What's on Tap, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. I am Sandy Maxx, and I have a fun show that, well, it's actually a Barbra Streisand day in history that I want to share with you because it's TV history too, which I think is pretty cool. But it's a gateway to tell you about a really fun local stage show at Renaissance Theater Works called Buyer Seller that is based on a true story that Barbra Streisand wrote herself in one of her memoirs. So it'll all make sense in about 5 minutes. So bear with me to hear some Barbra Streisand music and the plot of Buyer Seller at Renaissance Theater Works, which I do think you have to hear to believe. It is stranger than fiction. But first, though, I want to remind you, I was talking about a month away from the NFL draft, a month away from Milwaukee Film Festival, 2 things to look forward to that are going to be full of excitement here in Wisconsin. But we are 1 week away from Brewers opening day. And you know, here at WTMJ as the flagship station, we've been making plans. We're quite excited, and we are going to be pretty much all hands on deck all day long, from Wisconsin's morning news, and then Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty and Kristen Brian Noonan. Both of those shows are going to be broadcasting live just before the first pitch on Monday against Kansas City, and expect to hear interviews with all sorts of players, of coaches, of people behind the scenes and in the front office, and from fans. We are going to be completely decked out, and the entire team will be in action, and we're all looking forward to it. And at 6 o'clock at this time next week, What's on Tap will be on the air, and it'll be a special baseball-themed What's on Tap, including actor James Pickering doing a reading of Casey at the Bat. What a resonant voice, and I will tell you that we've already recorded it, and it's it's just compelling. I could sit and watch Jim Pickering perform anything. And I did. I did last December. I watched him perform A Christmas Carol as a fundraiser for the Constructivist, and he commanded the stage just reading Charles Dickens. So for him to perform an epic baseball poem like Casey at the Bat, I think you're going to enjoy it. So I may reveal it earlier than Monday, but
I'm excited. I hope there will be joy in Mudville.
Exactly. He did not change any of the words. Brian Kelly, producer for What's on Tap. This will be your first opening day with WTMJ. Is there anything you're looking forward to?
I love baseball.
There you go.
I love it. I'm not a Brewers fan. I never grew up a Brewers fan, but I love going to Brewers games because people there love baseball. It's just great. I've been to a couple opening days, and it's just a wonderful feeling. It's just so good. I feel like I'm transported back in time, like you see the grass and you see the families just looking at each other. It's a connection throughout history. It's everything you ever wanted from a game. It's more than just a game for me. It's everything. I love baseball.
How did you fall in love with baseball in the first place? And then we have to ask you, unfortunately, who your team is, because we all heard it.
I'm a convert. I did not like baseball until I worked at a bar where owned by a guy who was a former third baseman. He and a bunch of old bar guys started talking baseball and teaching me about it, and he had season tickets to Wrigley Field that kind of sold me there.
Is it a third baseman we would know?
No. He played in college and things like that. But,
okay.
We did have several Cubs
kind
come
of a
in
Sam
there.
Malone. Sure.
Yeah, I've put several of them in cabs, some against their will, but it's okay.
You're taking care of them. But I think that's what I think a lot of sports fans would love to just hang out and hear those stories.
Yes.
Like, that's special. And even as a huge music fan, like, I'm at the point now where, would I like to be backstage and hanging out in the dressing room? I'm at the stage now where, like, can we just sit at the bar, drink some wine, and, like, tell me about what these experiences were like as a musician? Like, I'm there for the stories now than the hot pants.
Yeah. Each baseball player has their own stories like this because it's a completely different lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's 162 games. You play only 82 of them at home. You're on the road half of your life, and even when you're home, you're not even doing anything. It's nonstop. And it's just a completely unique situation in all of sports.
Well, we're going to get those stories. We're going to get behind the scenes in Brewers opening day on WTMJ. So circle your calendar, because if you can't squeak out and be part of the game, we'll make you feel like you're there and bring you as much of the ambiance, environment, and of course the game itself next Monday. And if you are there, tap it on your app and play it while you're tailgating. That is going to be part of my fun. I'm also working on trying to get some tailgating tips for us on Wednesdays and Thursdays show, so we can help you make the most to kick off this Brewers home season. And Barbra Streisand, bear with me. I think it's a story that you've never heard before about her basement. That's coming up next on What's on Tap.
The only place to get this.
Rollins, alley-oop, Giannis soaring in for the two-handed flush. Throws it down on the feed by Rollins. Rollins' defense, he's been such a pest tonight. He's made it happen.
With some of this.
Kyle Kuzma's defense has been better than I anticipated, but I did not see this in terms of his passing and ball movement.
Get it all on Bucks Talk, your all-encompassing Milwaukee Bucks postgame show. Only heard here on the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
You're going to get a free furnace from Quality. No gimmick. You'll get a free furnace. This is Anthony Zanevsky. All you have to do is purchase a heat pump from Quality, and you'll get a free furnace. And this heat pump is not only going to give you 2 sources of heat and a backup, but also the heat pump will act as an AC system to cool your home as well. It's extremely efficient. I have a heat pump in my own home, and this I know. Your heat pump will cut your energy bills substantially. You'll be getting a top-of-the-line heat pump system and a free furnace. And you'll save thousands plus qualifying government incentives. So now through March 31st, you'll get a heck of a deal from Quality. This is the only time of the year we can do this. So call Quality and let's get you taken care of. Get your free furnace and upgrade your home's HVAC system to absolute max efficiency. Buy a heat pump from Quality and you'll get a free furnace through March 31st.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
Beer fans, travel lovers, and history buffs, this is your dream vacation. Join me, Sandy Maxx, on a 10-day journey through Germany, Austria, and the Czech Republic. We'll enjoy Munich's famous beer halls, sip our way through Salzburg's historic breweries, and discover Vienna's culture and craft beer scene. Then end the tour in Prague, where ancient history meets modern brews. From iconic castles to authentic flavors, grab your passport and let's raise a glass to the ultimate beer adventure. Limited spots available. Book now. Email me, sandy@wtmj.com to learn more.
Welcome back to What's on Tap on WTMJ.
Tell me not to live, just sit and putter. Life's candy and the sun's a ball of butter. Don't bring around a cloud to rain on my parade. Don't tell me not to fly, I simply got to. If someone takes a spill, it's me and not you. Who told you you're allowed to rain on my parade? I'll march my band.
Sure, the impeccable voice of Barbra Streisand. And I was looking up, Women's History Month, and you sniff around, and I found out that on this day, not the most seismic day in her career, but pretty big, that on March 24th in 1963, Barbra Streisand was on the Ed Sullivan Show, which, could make or break careers at that time. And she sang a great ballad that I was familiar with because of Michael Bublé's song, but it's an older song than that. And this is a moment from Barbra Streisand on Ed Sullivan.
She's one of the most exciting young talents and young stars to appear on Broadway in a good long time. Her name is Barbra Streisand. I'm going to sing for us, Cry Me a River, and I'm going to ask you for a lot of applause.
Now you say you're lonely. You cry the long night through. Cry me a river. Cry me a river. I cried a river over you.
Barbra Streisand on the Ed Sullivan Show on TVs all across the country. That's a cool arrangement as well. So she's singing Cry Me a River. That is in 1963 on March 24th. But it jarred my mind because last week artistic director for Renaissance Theater Works, Susan Fate, visited us to talk about the season reveal for the 2025-2026 season. But I was like, hold on, you have a very curious show that is coming up, and it just opened last night. And I asked her about this show. Susan, tell us about the show that's about Barbra Streisand. Tell us about the show that involves Barbra Streisand.
Well, the show is Buyer and Seller by Jonathan Tolan, and it's a play that I first read about 10 years ago, and I have been waiting to do ever since. I believe it is not on Broadway, but it's the longest running comedy in New York.
Oh, wow.
And yeah.
Oh, of all the right places.
Right.
For Barbra Streisand fans.
It is truly hilarious. Ray Jivoff is directing, and Doug Clements stars in it. And it is, okay.
Oh, so what's the plot of it? I keep saying that Barbra Streisand's involved, but no one's playing her.
It is, it's a bit of a setup. So this part's true, okay?
Okay.
In real life, Barbra Streisand wrote a book called My Passion for Design in 2010. And it is about her design of her Malibu estate, which is palatial, as you can imagine. It's kind of old Englishy. And she decided that in this beautiful home that she created, she did the designs and worked with the architects, and every single part of it is to her liking. She wanted a place to store all of her beautiful memorabilia and antiques and the dress from Funny Girl and all of those things. So she created a pretend marketplace in her basement. So in Barbra Streisand, remember, this part's real, in Barbra Streisand basement in Malibu, there is a pretend cobblestone street with a vintage clothing store, a vintage toy store, a frozen yogurt shop, a candy shop, and various other things.
It's almost like what Michael Jackson did with Neverland, but it's contained in her basement.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, this is the real part of the story.
This is right, and this is for real. You can look at the book yourself. So
it's like she has Streets of Milwaukee in her basement.
It's exactly like that. It's like the Streets of Old Milwaukee meets Funny Girl. Okay. And it, so that part's real. So the playwright got the idea, okay, so she has this real place. Maybe she needs an actor to pretend he's the merchant down there in case she wants to come downstairs and play store. Because why else would you have a pretend marketplace if you weren't going to play down there? So the idea is this, the plot of the play is Alex is an unemployed actor, gets a weird call for this job that is the oddest of odd jobs, to wait in Barbra Streisand's basement and take care of the stuff and dust and all of those things, until one day the lady herself comes downstairs. And the play is about what happens after that.
Oh my gosh.
And what's it like to meet your idol?
In her home, in this wonderland that she's created. Mm-hmm. What a fantastic imagination. Mm-hmm. And I could challenge everyone. This is a show like none other.
It is one of the funniest things I have ever read.
How fun.
Just delightful.
Buyer Seller at Renaissance Theater Works goes through April 13th. This sounds fun.
It's really fun.
Talk about escapism.
Yes.
This sounds like a lot of fun.
Great music. Yes.
Next Act Theater is where that production is. I'm telling you, Susan Fate, artistic director of Renaissance Theater Works, she just had me fascinated by that description. I feel like I'm a music fan and I would have heard about that somehow, but Barbra Streisand and the Streets of Milwaukee type setup in her basement. Stay with me. It's Munich Monday, next on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers, where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, Our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
At Erickson's Landscape Supply, we have durable, maintenance-free polywood patio furniture and #1 grade treated natural pine Amish-made patio furniture. And we also have a wonderful assortment of concrete benches, statues, and fountains available in a selection you just gotta see to believe. Erickson's Landscape Supply, high-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less, plus a whole lot more. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection or stop on in today. He told us to load 4 yards into his 8-foot bed, but we knew that 3 full, honestly measured yards were going to fill his truck bed to the rim. After we proved that, he told us the other guys have been telling him he's been getting 4 yards in there for years. Honest measurements and honest folks who just want to do you right. So you come back. Erickson's Landscape Supply, high-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
Your first time driving a stick shift. The car, sporty. Your teacher, nervous. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Online Activation Zone, so you can easily shift your direct deposits from your old clunker of a bank to Associated Bank in just a few clicks. You've got this with Activation Zone from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx is back on WTMJ.
Munich. Sonntag. Lustiger Tag. Munich.
It's even funnier if you have a beer in your hand. That is Munich Monday, a little peppered up by producer Brian Kelly to get you in the mood to go to Munich. Join me on a European brewery tour in Germany, Austria, and the Czech Republic. We were stopping Munich first because Hofbrauhaus is there. Think about it. Raise a big stein. You've got the German music. You're sitting at a table with other people having such a great communal experience, saying Prost as you clink glasses, and you hear about Gemütlichkeit, that communal feeling, and you can experience it right where they came up with the word in Germany. Join me. Sandy at WTMJ.com is my email address. SANDY at WTMJ.com. Pop me a note. I would love to send you the brochure with the full itinerary so you can see where we're going in Munich, in Vienna, in Salzburg, and in Prague, the different breweries that we're going to get special access to, and the fine living we'll be doing. Thanks to Steve Bertrand Travel. Takes care of the air, takes care of the accommodations at 4-star hotels. We have breakfast. We have several meals. You can go off and wander on your own if you want to shop or browse or find your own craft brewery. Have a whole lot of fun. I would love it if you join me. Sandy at WTMJ.com. I'll send you the brochure. We're traveling in September the 12th through the 22nd on a one-of-a-kind epic beer and history tour in Germany, Austria, and the Czech Republic. I would love it if you would join me. We had a great time on the Beatles trip, and